how does God use wisdom if he is wisdom? Oh. Hey, Damelo, how does God use wisdom if he's wisdom? Please now help me. Get me a mic. How does God use wisdom if he's wisdom? I want you to think about it. That's what he took me through yesterday. How does God use wisdom? Now, he's bigger than wisdom. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, there's a place, and I hope I get there this morning, where he says, I, wisdom, was with the Lord when he was making the earth. Have you ever read that before, right? So how does wisdom use wisdom? Thank you, my sister. Damelo, I need you to process this. Yes, ma'am.
I feel the Lord is using the law of teaching.
Okay.
The law of teaching that has to do with you using the tool before the student so that the student
can learn from you.
Apply the tool
that's
wisely.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. I couldn't have come up with a better. Anybody have any other perspective quickly? Did you hear what she said? She says he was demonstrating to you how he walks. He was demonstrating to you his nature. His nature is wisdom. Am I making sense? Everything he does. Look at the way you are designed. Look at the way your nose points to the ground. Look at the way your breasts are. Look at the way your ears are. Look at the way he does things. Everything he does, he represents what wisdom can accomplish. And so he's telling you, this is how I walk. This is how I roll. And I want you to roll like that. Do you see where I'm going with this morning? That's why I said it's a very difficult topic to teach. And this is the part that is bothering me. We have lost out years of ignoring this wisdom. Because the wisdom we were taught was Harvard-based. The British system, the American system. Are you telling me your parents were not wise? Are you telling me that those who didn't go to Harvard, did Jesus go to Harvard? I'm asking you, did Jesus, I'm going to look at Joseph in a minute. When Joseph was solving problems of Egypt, was there Harvard involved? You guys are not getting how hungry I am about this topic. I'm trying to show you how much we have missed out on the wisdom of God. And he's saying, that's my operating system. That song said it this morning, the only wise God. So it's not about, because for instance, God uses power, but God is power. Very confusing, isn't it? Guys, am I boring you? Am I confusing you? Is it appropriate? It probably is. I wasn't a stupid person in school. I was quite smart. As a matter of fact, in my class, and even when I was in university, I used to come at least top 3 in my class. So it wasn't as if I wasn't intelligent. Am I making sense? I wasn't sharp. And that usually happens because your parents are sharp. Am I making sense? It's usually not because and then they exposed you. Am I making sense? It had nothing to do with whether you brought anything from heaven. Am I making sense? It was just a gift. Am I making sense? I used to be. But I was pretty sharp. And guess what? When I was in school, I hated reading. Isn't that strange? Now I read to live. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I read more now than I've ever read when I was in school. Some of you are the opposite. We'll pray for you after service. You don't read at all. because you thought reading was for graduating. Right? And so, I stumbled on this man called Kenneth E. Hagin, and he said, he used to preach, and he used to preach very good sermons until one day God showed him the Pauline prayers. And he began to pray the Pauline prayers for himself every single day. He says within about 4 or 5 weeks, even his wife had to call him and say, "My Oga, what happened to you?" He started preaching to his congregation. All of a sudden they began to say, "Oga, something happened to you." Because the spirit of wisdom and revelation came upon him. And I'm going to show you how to apply that in your business in a minute. But are you getting where I'm going now? You see, you can spend your energy praying about money, or you can pray about the spirit of wisdom and revelation. And so what I found out, and if you've walked with me in any kind of fair of the world, or you see me at work when I walk in different things, have you noticed that I can almost walk in every zone? If the generator has a problem, I can talk to the generator mechanic. If my car has a problem, yesterday I told the guy who was fixing my AC, I told Roti, I need somebody to come and fix my AC because my wife, the heat will be uncomfortable for her today. So I said, tell him it is the capacitor. The guy came with 3 capacitors. He said he didn't think I knew what I was talking about. He brought 3 spare capacitors, and in 5 minutes he had fixed it. And he said, how did you know it was the capacitor? I don't know. I just know. I don't know I'm making any sense. And he fixed it. He said, I said, but I've been sitting in that room for how many years? I know how many times I've changed the capacitor of that air conditioner. It was just instinct. It was something I just knew. I didn't need to be a mechanic. I can go to the pool and reason things out with my guys. I can reason things out in a way, but it didn't come from anywhere. It was a gift that God gave. Because you asked him for the spirit of wisdom and revelation. I know you're not going to believe me, but that's fine. I believe it. So I want to walk you through this quickly. I don't have time. God reveals something. Wisdom interprets it. Understanding connects it. Skill executes it. Systems preserve it. People experience the result. It's almost like a standard working process with God. And I'm going to show you in a minute what I mean. Watch this. This is Daniel. Daniel proposed in his heart that he will not eat. First and foremost, he made a moral decision. You gave your life to Christ. You said, I'm leaving the world. I'm moving out. Am I making sense? Are you here? He says, the man Daniel prepared in house that he will not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. He requested that the prince of the eunuchs, that he might not defile himself. Wisdom did not show up as intelligence. It first showed up as alignment with the will of God. Are you here? So what does he do? He says, listen, I'm not going to use the world systems. I'm not going to use the world's formula for success. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick to what you taught me, because don't forget, he's a Jew. So he was aware of the Torah. Are you here? And so wisdom did not show up there as intelligence. Look at what it says here. It says who he belonged to, what he could participate in, what he could not compromise, and how to remain faithful to God's truth. Are you here? See how wisdom first shows up. Then look at what happens next. Look at what happens next. As for these 3 young men, because they had made the same decision, the Bible says God did what? Gave them. God gave them. God, they didn't go to Harvard. God gave them. God gave them. God, do you see it? Do you see why wisdom? He's the one that gives it. You may not have gone to school.